This is the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast, episode 425.
I program my home computer.
We have a server crash, 404 error, page not found, links aren't working, system is crashing, system is crashing, system is crashing.
Your old HTML website, barely alive. We have the technology. We have WordPress. A new website, better than it was before. Better, stronger, faster. We have the technology. The technology.
Why, hello everybody, this is Adam Silver, the host of the Kitchen Sink WP Podcast. Thanks for being here. Let's get started. All right, upcoming events. We have one WordCamp in person next week. It is WordCamp Vienna over in Austria, April 23rd and 24th. Pretty excited once again for an in-person event. I'm not going to be there. But with that in mind, WordCamp Europe is coming up. It's around the corner, June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in Porto, Portugal. And I might be there. So if you're going, let me know. I might be there. Just all I can say right now. All right, moving on. Segment 1 in the news. WordPress version 6 beta 1 is out in the wild for testing. Do not install this on a live production server. Use development server for this only, of course. And I am going to, I think, dive into version 6, see if I can't help out and submit some reports on how things are working, I guess. I'm sure my friend Courtney might, if she hears this, she'll call me out and say, hey, you're going to help? So I'm gonna really try. How about that for you, Courtney? All right. Also in the news, we're Elementor, the very popular page builder, 3.63 patches a critical remote code execution vulnerability from versions 3.60 to 3.62. This is important if you're running Elementor because 5 million sites were affected by this. So if you're running an older version of Elementor or version 3.60 to 3.62, you're going to want to update as soon as possible. That was there's a link in the show notes about what was going on over WordFence had put out that information. So, all right, moving on. Segment 2, the meat and potatoes of this week's episode. But first, a word from our sponsor.
These days, my life is hectic. From running a WordPress agency, having 3 kids and working with their schedules, working with the local animal shelter, and finding time for date night with my husband, the last thing I want to remember is where I saved the serial number or activation codes for a client project. I knew there had to be a better way, and I was right, thanks to WP Wallet. With WP Wallet, your days of confusing spreadsheets, missed renewals, and forgotten reimbursements are over. WP Wallet's proprietary database includes hundreds of premium plugins, with pricing assigned automatically. The service quickly scans your site, then instantly creates recurring invoices to request reimbursement from your client for license fees. It's so simple, and who isn't a fan of simple? Need a way to share the info with your company internally? WP Wallet has you covered there too. Add as many team members as you want to every site. So, if you're looking for the way to take control of your license or activation code needs, head over to WPWallet.com and check out the demo video. You won't be disappointed.
And thanks once again to WP Wallet for sponsoring this week's episode. Really do appreciate having you on board and keeping the lights on. All right, moving on. Segment 2, meat potatoes, multi-site in 2022. So this week I'm talking about multi-site. And I did review this in a past episode. I looked it up. It's been a long time, like 7.5 years ago. So why am I revisiting this now? Well, because it's time sometimes to do that for some things technology-based. Things change all the time. And there's been some recent chatter recently online whether it should exist or not. And someone reached out as well, needing some advice on an idea they had. And I have ideas, and I've toyed with it off and on, and I have yet another new idea that would really take advantage of multi-site. So with that, here's the update on what WordPress Multisite's going on. First and foremost, if you don't know what multi-site is, it's this. It allows you to create and manage multiple sites with a single installation of WordPress. Okay. Now, this network of sites will have some files in common with other sites. However, every it's stored individually for each site. You'll have one install WordPress. So when you go to update WordPress, you do it one time. Same thing goes for themes and plugins. So you install them once, and you can then save time when you need to update them. Pretty cool that way. Also, a downside here is it's one single database. So it's not the best thing. But for files to be uploaded to each site, they all get their own separate folders. Subfolders of WP uploads for each site will be created as well. So one place to update themes, plugins, and core, one database, so that's a positive. The negative, for a moment, there's more pros and cons to come. A negative might be one database, but different WP uploads, folders for each site as well. So now, who uses WP Multisite? What kind of companies? First and foremost, real estate offices, law firms, and most recently, the WAAS industry. So the websites as a service. Okay. Now, right now, any site, just about, can be made into a multi-site. There's code you have to activate to do it. You have to allow a line of code. I believe it goes into your WP config file. It defines that allows to true. Okay. And then I wanted to kind of cover here again a few more pros and cons. Okay. First, we'll start with the pros. A multi-site really does enable you to easily manage a huge number of sites through a single dashboard. Okay. Each site can have its own admin, and each admin can manage their own site. You have the ability to install the plugin just once, and then the whole network can use it. The people running downstream, if you will, cannot delete the plugin or the theme. They can activate it or deactivate it if they want. Okay. For updates, again, like I said before, you just update it once, and it's updated across the whole network. It really makes time. It makes managing the site, a whole bunch of these sites, much more efficient with space and or time, both comparatively, and it allows you to earn money because you can then, like I said, the WAAS, you can provide hosting services to others through a multi-site network. So if you're offering website hosting, it makes it pretty simple to do this. Okay. So to keep that in mind. The cons now, and there's some cons to talk about. On a multi-site network, not all plugins work. You have to make sure that the plugin is multi-site enabled or available there. Okay. So you may be out of luck. I think that's changed a lot over the past 7.5 years. I think the sites that are running it or the plugins that you might want to use have been updated, or there are things that can be made to work. If your network is down, all the sites are down. So keep that in mind. And if your website gets hacked, it means that all the sites in your network will be hacked. So that's that's a big negative. Okay. Now, the best practice here, of course, when it comes to doing this and hosting specifically, is you want to choose a really good hosting company that supports multi-site and has documentation and has support for it. Not all hosts are created equal, A. Not all multi-site hosts are created equal, B. Okay. Now, on the issue of most recent chatter, where some people think that multi-site should go away and others think that additional development needs to happen, I'm referencing an article here that a friend of mine, Chris Wegman, wrote, where he states, and I quote, "Without multi-site, WordPress would die in the enterprise," end quote. And I bring this up because I believe his assessment is right here. There was a lot of back and forth on Twitter with other people, and I just kind of dug into this. And I believe Chris for multiple reasons. One, he's really smart. Two, he's a senior WordPress developer. Three, he's super experienced with multi-site. And of course, we see multi-site is a core piece that runs many WordPress websites, entities. For example, first and foremost, WordPress.com is a huge multi-site, okay? And I went digging a little further to see who else is out there currently using it, and anyone that we can kind of give validation to. So the top five, the top five were BBC America, New York Times, Reuters blog, Harvard blogs, and like cheapflights.com. Okay. So again, multi-site is here. It's useful. I'm not going into a technical discussion about how it's, the code base is written or not written or supported or not supported at the moment. I just want to say, look, if you're looking for an easy-ish way to run a network of sites, don't discount multi-site because it's been around for so long. And by the way, I think if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, it came out with version WordPress 3. So that's been a long time ago. But there's been changes, there's been support, but I think it needs its ongoing support. It needs ongoing encouragement and ongoing development as well. So there you have it. It's here. It's a necessary and needed part of the WordPress ecosystem. And if you have, the druthers, take a look at it, check it out, and learn about it, and maybe contribute to it if you have those skills. So I just want to kind of give it an update there. It's short, sweet, and there you have it. All right, moving on. Segment 3. Oh, actually, I just want to mention, if you use multi-site and you want to share about it, let me know. Okay, we'll talk. All right, segment 3, tip and tool of the week. This week's tip is a new WordPress email thingy. It's called tinypress.email. You get the top 3 WordPress design and development links in your inbox every week, curated by Daniel Schultzman. No spam, short and sweet. Once again, it's over at tinypress.email. So check it out. It's pretty cool. I've got it for a week now. I'm digging it. And you can sign up. It's free, etc. All right, we'll wrap it up here. If you have any questions, go ahead, send it in via email, adam@KitchensinkWP.com, or use the SpeakPipe function on the website. You want to support the show, you become a patron. I would love that. If you want to sponsor the show, you can do that too. There's a form on the website, just like WP Wallet sponsored this week's episode. Thanks for listening. Now go out and do some awesome things with WordPress. All right, bye-bye.